Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Grave, the podcast where I talk to friends, family, and even strangers about their paranormal experiences. Getting right into it for this one, folks, today I am talking to Alina, who I spoke with about coming on the show after she commented on a ghost story I posted on TikTok. You're going to be hearing that word a lot in the next few episodes. She mentioned some experiences she had at her childhood home as a kid, and after hearing what she had to say, I definitely wanted to get her on to tell her stories. As you'll hear, she's also just a very nice person, and for as dark as some parts of our discussion get, she definitely takes it all in stride and can still treat all of it with some humor. We talk about a ghost child, shadow figures, and even a seemingly cursed ring. So buckle up, folks, and without further ado, I give you Alina's experiences.
Yeah, so like I told you, I grew up in a super active house. I live in Northern California where the gold rush happened. So lots of history. So my parents moved to that house, my childhood home, when I was 3, and it's a new build, so we were the first ones to ever live there.
Okay.
And I think the first thing that they ever noticed was they'd be sitting out in the backyard and they get this horrendous whiff of death, just like so strong, she said, that it was just
like a rotting smell, like
something
died.
Something dead, everyone knows that smell if they've smelled it before.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so she said that they'd have to leave, they have to go in the house, and I guess that happened a few times. And then I guess in our garage, so we had just a one-story house, typical.
Sure.
In our garage, I guess there were bones in the foundation.
Do they know if it's animal or human or?
Yeah, that's when my mom's like, they were little, so I don't know. Maybe they were,
okay.
Chicken bones or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
But I always found that kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used to see a lot of shadow people, zipping past, in the corner of your eye, or, like in the hallways or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It happens so often that we just got used to it.
I was going to ask, like, the frequency of it was like weekly, daily?
Almost daily for a while there. When it really amped up, it was almost a daily occurrence. But yeah, so my dad ended up adding a second story to the house, right above said garage. And so we had this extra space now. So my parents wanted to make like a den or like a hangout place or whatever. So they bought a pool table, or like really old, like Western looking pool table.
Nice.
But so when we got that pool table, that's kind of when things really started to really happen.
Huh.
We would our laundry room was the same as the room with the pool table and the TV and all that.
Yep.
So we would be going in there. I would go in there. This happened to me, my mother, everybody. You'd have the pool table and you'd have the billiard balls all set up nice. So we would walk by, or I would walk by, and I've seen it spin by itself.
The cue ball was spinning?
The cue ball would not even like roll away, but just spin.
Would it move around, or was it just like stationary?
Stationary, and it would just kind of.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was one of those things you'd walk by and go, "Was that? Did I just see that?" So,
yeah.
Whatever, you'd move on with your day. But so that would happen a lot. It happened once when I was actually playing pool. I'm staring down the cue ball, and it does it. It spins in front of me.
Yeah.
So I stopped, and I'm like, okay, but those little things happen, and you just keep going. You're like, okay, that happened.
Yeah. Can't explain it, but we're moving on, type of thing.
Yeah. It was weird. It was weird when the cue balls would disappear while playing pool.
Okay.
So, you hit the ball in, goes in the pocket, it rolls down the track, and then goes back into where you collect them.
Yep.
So we would go, you get under there and look for them, and it's gone. We had no idea where it would go.
Oh wait, so hold on. It would go into like the track and then it would just disappear?
and it would be gone.
Huh.
It would
And
be gone.
would it appear somewhere else, or like after a while it would just appear back on the table?
It would appear, you would hear it thump under the table. So after a few minutes, however long, we would just be like, okay, let's just take a break and wait for it to come back. And it would
Okay.
just be there.
All right.
In the center of the pool table too. So that's what I never said, like, okay, if it was on the track, maybe, it got stuck and then plopped out or whatever. But it's like it was always
Back on the
always
table.
center.
Huh.
Yeah, that was weird. Very weird.
Also, just a strange thing to like have like a pool table be like a fixation for something paranormal.
Yeah.
Although I guess it may make sense given like the gold rush and everything. That's probably something they did. So maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that pool table was so active, my mom started calling the entity or spirit or whatever. We called him Uncle Bill. So it would be Uncle Bill's pool table, or oh, that's just Uncle Bill. He's playing pool or whatever.
A solid name. Solid name
Yeah,
for a
I know.
ghost.
No, he sounds like a cowboy, Uncle
Yeah.
Bill. Next to the pool table was a door, and then that's where the stairs went up to the new room that my dad had built.
Yep.
And we would hear footsteps coming up and coming down all the time. We'd be sitting there eating dinner, and then all of a sudden, whoever, Uncle Bill's walking down the steps.
Right.
And we would all freeze and just look at each other.
Okay, so footsteps on the stairs. So as you were saying that, was it like running or was it like a constant like
It was,
tread, like 1, 2, like nice and
yeah,
rhythmic?
nice and slow.
Okay.
Like just taking their time coming down the steps. And, it was like each creak, you would hear it walking down, or going up. Going up was better. It was the walking down that always.
Yeah. At least they're going away.
Yeah, at least he's going up there. Whereas when it would come down the steps, we would just sit there and wait because you hear steps and you're like expecting someone to open the door and
Yeah.
or hi, it's me, but it would just stop.
Was there anything visual accompanied with it, or like did anything other like else strange happen while the footsteps were either stopping or going up and down?
Not during the steps. No, it was always just the sound, the audio of the steps going up and down. But there were a lot of, like I said, shadows, things zipping by. We had our long hallway where all our bedrooms were down at the end. So my room was on one side, my mom and dad's were on the other side. And we would see things darting back and forth from their room to my room.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Were they I'm sorry, were they like full body, like could you make out like a humanoid figure, or was it just like kind of a blurry shadow?
Yeah, I mean, I would say human size. I used to see when I was outside, when I was a kid outside playing or whatever, I used to see a lot of small shadow figures or, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever they were, zipping by, going by. And I always, in my head, I was like, oh, it's just an animal. It's just a cat or it's a whatever.
Yeah.
But it was.
You saw those outside?
Yeah, all the time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just like little black blurs.
Sure. Yeah. Like just little, shadows going by.
Would they be like hiding behind trees, like popping out, or was it more like in plain sight?
Yeah, all of it. Like a lot of times I would just see them like I'm focusing at something, and right there in the corner you would see it just, go by, and then you look and there's nothing there.
Right.
It was so active that it was to the point people would come over, our friends, me and my brother, teenagers, and they would come over and we'd be like, oh yeah, our house is haunted. And of course they'd be like, yeah, right, whatever. No, it's not. And we would always just be like, okay. Like,
just bracing you for what's about to happen.
Yeah, you'll see. Like, okay. And then it would always like, all of a sudden you hear the stairs or you hear the billiards moving or, whatever it is.
Yeah. Was there ever a moment, I guess maybe starting with you, that like, obviously those things definitely add up to being like, okay, this is some crazy paranormal stuff, but like, did you ever come across like a full entity or like a shadow person like right in front of you or like in your room or?
Yeah. So there was one time it was I saw all of him. I was throwing away a beanbag because it was the 90s, and I went. It was outside, of the front of our house, and so my bedroom window was kind of right there. So I'm climbing up the wheel well, and I'm throwing it in. As I turn my head, I'm looking at my window, and on the other side of the trailer is a little boy in a blue coat, and he kind of runs away. And I was like, oh, and it was daytime, so it wasn't that scary. So I was like, oh, that's weird. I throw it away. I jump down, I walk around, and there's nothing there. And we didn't live in a neighborhood. We lived in the country where it was like there wasn't random kids,
Right.
running around.
Did he look like a person, or was he maybe like transparent? Like, I know you said he was wearing like a blue coat, but like, was it like I envisioned like a ghost with like sunken in eyes or something like that, or you just looked like a normal...
No, he just looked like a little boy. All I saw was the back of him, the back of his hair and his blue jacket as he's like running away, like almost like right as I looked at him when he took off.
Wow.
I don't remember him being anything transparent or anything. He looked like flesh and blood, like he was there. It was happening so often, like I was saying, that my dad had it. He knew, his kids are scared, his wife, no one wants to be home alone.
Right.
We're all scared to be in our house. And so my dad finally had it, and he just yells out, like, get the hell out of here. I don't want you around here anymore. Go away. He's just like yelling into the the air,
Furious.
Yeah, he was mad. I mean, it was happening so often, and it was scary. And it worked for a little while.
Oh, all right.
It went away, and it was like, oh, okay, finally, Dad did it. Dad scared him off.
Yeah.
And then my parents ended up getting a divorce, and so he was no longer living in the house, and it seemed like it came back because of that. At least that's what I always thought.
Yeah.
And after that, it didn't feel like just Uncle Bill. It felt like something else, something darker, yes, mad, mean, or something,
Yeah.
And I don't know if that has to do with me and my brother were teenagers, and you have that teenage angst, and I know they say like poltergeists are attracted to that, and they feed off of it or whatever.
Yeah, it could be an energy thing.
Yeah, that's what my mom always said, even back in the 90s. She was like, oh, it's poltergeist. They like you teenagers.
You know how those poltergeists are.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, thanks, Mom.
Reassuring.
Yeah, but so my parents divorced, and then my mom remarried to not a great guy.
Okay.
Lots of not good stuff. And it seemed like it really liked that. Like it really, the energy was so heavy and so dark all the time after that. Cupboards would be completely open in the morning, in the kitchen, all open. And then once again, it's that thing where you're like, okay, it is what it is.
Like that didn't happen.
Yeah. But something that was really weird is it would come and it would go. So it would be really active for a few months, and then all of a sudden it would stop. And then how we knew it was going to start up again is the house would get infested with wasps.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the stairs would be covered in wasps, hundreds of them everywhere. And then right after that, we knew, oh, here it goes. Let's start again.
Did you have to, would you get like an exterminator for the wasps, or just like, how'd you get rid of them?
Yeah, I mean, my stepdad would spray them and get rid of them and all that stuff.
That's just you hear, that's wild, because you hear, a lot of times we're like, I don't want to classify it as demonic, but it sounds like, when something like that happens, you usually see like flies or, some sort of insect. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, I know. Learning all these things after, being an adult, and I listen to, paranormal podcasts and stuff, and I'm always like, yeah, that did happen. That happened to us too. Like it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would happen. Our house would crack, and not like just the house settling or whatever. It sounded like it was going to break in half, and it goes along with when the stairs are happening, all that. All of a sudden, the house would crack so loud that it would wake us up. That it was like, it felt so weird. If it didn't go along with everything else, I would be just kind of like, oh, whatever. But it was like the feeling it gave you when it would do it was so uneasy.
It was just like one like large cracking noise.
one large, and it would be in different areas, and it would sound like it would just like going all the way up that wall through the roof, and then that would be
It
it.
almost like tracked the sound
Yeah,
or the crack as it was. And was there ever a visual crack, or was it just the sound of cracking?
sound. And you would think with that amount of times that it happened that
The house would
some
fall down.
yeah, something would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of little things like that. Like the corners of the house would get really dark, shadows, but darker shadows. Like
Like darker than the dark type of thing.
yeah, even in like kind of well lit, it just was so heavy sometimes. When I wrote you originally, I told you about my kids seeing something.
Yeah.
That was recent. They were.
Was that in the current house you're in right now?
That's in our house, yeah.
Okay.
Which I didn't like
Yeah, I was gonna
because
say that
I'm
doesn't
very
sound.
like, keep it away from me. You know, I like listening to the podcast and all that, but I'm like, I've had enough. I've had enough experiences.
Been there, done that. Yeah.
Yeah, no more Uncle Bill. I don't
Yeah.
want. I don't
All
want
right.
any.
Yeah. So that's if you don't mind. Yeah. What did they experience?
Yeah. So I have a 12-year-old and a 7-year-old. And so my 12-year-old was kind of sleeping on the ground in our room because, you know, they're kids and they always want to be in our room. And he said that he woke up, looked over at the doorway, which would be down at his feet to the side. And he said he saw a shadow person, which my boys know about this stuff because of everything I went through and
Yeah.
everything. So he was like, I saw a shadow person. He said he saw two. He said one was standing in the doorway while the other one, a smaller one, was peeking his head through the doorway. And he was like, and his hand was on the door frame and they were looking at us.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So just so I'm clear, so one was standing in the doorway, the other one was kind of like by the side, kind of popping out from
Yeah.
outside the
So one's
doorway.
like in the doorway, I guess, while the other one's kind of peeking into the
Yeah.
room
And a smaller,
at
like
us.
a half the size,
Shorter. Yeah.
childlike.
Yeah. Like kid size, I guess. I
Okay.
imagine that's what he meant.
What a
Um,
terrible, scary pairing.
I know, I don't like it. And the way he's telling me this after he like Looney Tuned his way over our bed, like so fast, like ran over everybody to get to me. And he's shivering and shaking, and I'm like, what's happening? What's happening? I'm looking around. I don't see anything.
Right.
But you know, after he finally calms down, he tells me, and I was just like, whoa.
Was that the only time something like that happened, or was there one?
My littler one said he saw something very similar.
Okay.
Also, I mean, he's 7, so you know,
I don't know. Yeah, you could be like, oh, kids and their imaginations, but you can also say that kids are much more open to that and are
sure.
much
I mean, I
easily.
remember, you know,
Yeah,
I remember being a
exactly.
kid and seeing things, so I never, you know, poo-poo them about it. I'm always like, yeah,
Right.
I believe
Okay.
you. Which is hard because I don't want to scare them. Be like, it
Sure.
is what
Yeah.
you saw. You're right, it was.
Right. Absolutely. It was dark and scary,
Yeah,
and it's in the house.
yeah,
Uh,
and it was looking at you.
yeah. So it was the same like two figures, or was it just like a shadow figure?
He said 2 shadow figures again, and he said one was in the room
Like at the
standing.
like at the foot of the bed or something like that?
Yeah. Basically, I wouldn't say exactly the foot of the bed, but you know, to the side a little bit. It was getting closer, I suppose, but
Oh God, that's even worse.
yeah, I know.
Do you have any like I'm assuming this house is not the same house you grew up in?
Oh,
Okay,
no.
so would you happen to know if there's any history to the house? Like was there a, you
I
know,
don't know. I know it was built in the 70s. We still live in, you know, the Placer County Gold Rush area and stuff, so there's lots of history. There is an old Native American cemetery, literally 2 blocks away, you know? I
okay,
mean, I
yeah.
don't know.
It's
I
all
feel like
starting
any
to track now.
cemetery, yeah, I feel like all cemeteries kind of probably have something going on.
Yeah, I feel like especially Native American stuff, like I think that's wasn't that Poltergeist like 101, like
Yeah.
you're on a Native American
Yeah.
burial ground.
Yeah. I watched that movie and I'm like, oh, my childhood.
That's pretty
Oh,
crazy. I'm sorry your children had to experience that. But you
yeah.
but you haven't seen anything in the house though.
No, I've had sleep paralysis a little bit or a couple times.
Hmm.
I'm sleeping on my side facing the wall away from the door, the same doorway. And
Don't
I'm
look at it.
yeah, don't look at it. And I'm feeling something coming towards us, my kids and me, and I'm having to fight to turn around in time. Like, and you're frozen and I'm trying to fight to turn around because
Yeah.
if I can look at it, then I can make it go away, I guess.
Right. Yeah. All right. So, and was there any other things in the old house that, you were just like, holy shit, like that was, another little boy, or that was
Yeah.
a, what I would, a ghostly Uncle Bill type of thing. Or,
Yeah. Um, there was one time me and my friend, she was our neighbor, which it was her great grandmother's property that our house was built on.
Mhm.
So we were sitting outside after swimming in the pool, and we're just sitting there doing whatever, and we hear a small voice that sounds like a boy, or I'm sorry, not a boy, a kid, whatever, say, hello. And we did one of those things where we looked at each other, and we were like, we're looking at each other agreeing we both heard this.
Yeah.
And we of course jumped up and ran in the house, and
Didn't see anyone.
no, I mean, and like I said, it was like we didn't live in an area where kids just roll up, like you have to be brought there or whatever. Like,
Right.
lived in the country where everything was far apart and
Mhm.
fenced off, and so that was a weird little moment of who knows.
Yeah. I wonder if it coincided with the little boy.
Yeah, I mean, I always kind of thought that too. My mom was always convinced someone was under the foundation of the house.
Buried under there somewhere.
Yeah, that's what she always thought, and she always said that's why he's angry. He's mad that he's stuck
Oh,
in. Yeah,
that's a valid point right there, actually. I
yeah,
would be pissed too.
yeah. I know it makes sense. Yeah, I think she's definitely one of those people that um entities are very attracted to. She's,
Like a little sensitive.
I think so. Yeah, she doesn't want it. She wants nothing to do with it.
Most people don't. It's an
Um,
unfortunate gift.
yeah, she still has things that happen to her. She calls it her ghost cat that will jump up on her bed, and she'll
Oh, like little paws.
feel it walking up, and lay next to her. And it has always
Oh.
happened. It's having a hard time, you know,
Yeah. Oh, that's creepy.
different
So,
places, like she'll be she was up in the hospital one time and she felt ghost cat jumping up and walking up to her
oh
and
my
laying.
goodness.
Yeah, I know.
Does she have any like crazy like apparitional sightings or, you know?
She saw a lot of the shadow people
Mm,
going in and out of our rooms. She saw that.
okay.
Um,
It's gotta be
yeah,
tough as a mom just to be like,
I
oh,
know.
damn it, there they are again.
Yeah, I know. I asked my mom. I was like, "What direction were they going?" She was like, "In your room." I'm like, "Oh, great."
Mostly yours.
But that it probably didn't help that, of course, as a teenage girl, I'm playing with a Ouija board.
There we go. All right. Truth
Yeah,
comes out.
I know, right? It was real. No, it didn't. I'm sure I didn't help the situation, but I think it's one of those things where, it's in your face all the time and you kind of want to know. You kind of
Sure.
want, maybe see if something will communicate to you or whatever, just kind of maybe having a little bit of control, I guess, you
Mm.
know?
Did anything ever come through on the board?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Every time. A lot of yes and no's. And I remember it giving, it sounds so silly now, but like, it gave us like a spell, like a
Interesting.
witchcraft spell or something, like,
Okay.
which I was into all that as a kid. So, I mean, I wish I still had that book because I would like to see what it said. I
Yeah.
just remember a lot of like elemental word, like fire and air and all this stuff. And
Mm.
it was a lot more,
Like alchemical.
yeah, like it seemed to know what it was talking about better than me because I don't think at 13 I could have thought of something, you know?
Yeah, which lends credence to the experience too, because it's like
Yeah.
if you didn't even know really what it was talking about, then
Yeah. And then my mom would do, once again, my mom probably wasn't helping either. she showed me what automatic handwriting was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fun subject.
Yeah. Which her mother taught her. And so we would do that, and it would draw pictures,
Mm,
random things of mountains and trees and
really?
people. Yeah. And that was pretty weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There was one time me and my mom were sitting down just talking, and she had all her like family heirloom, like all her jewelry and stuff, and she's showing me, this is so and so's or whatever. There was one ring. It was like a gold band with a pink stone.
Hmm.
And she was telling me like, oh, this is your step grandmother's daughter's. She, unfortunately she killed herself. And she hated me. My mom's very like straight to it,
Yeah.
and she's like, and she didn't want me to have this ring. She didn't want me to take it, but my stepmother, gave it to me, blah, blah, blah. She puts the ring on and it burns her.
Really?
It burned her finger to the point where it was like as if she touched a hot pan or something. She was like, ow, oh my goodness, and she takes the ring off and there's a burn mark. There's a burn
Like a
on her.
circular burn mark?
Yeah. Yeah. Like a burn across like the top of her finger where the band was.
Wow.
And yeah. And she was just like, what, angry, and like throws it in the box, and like, I just thought that was so like, how do you explain that,
Yeah, that's I mean, for such like a small thing too, like that's like a big deal. Like to have an item. I mean, there's definitely like attachment and stuff like that. So I think it seems to be that is what happened, but that's like some pretty powerful stuff if she's burning like whether it was her or a hex or a curse or whatever. Like that's pretty intense.
Yeah, the fact that she was very clear that she did not want her to have it, and she ended up with it, and she's showing it to me, and you know
Yeah.
she gets burned.
It burns me, so I can't wear it.
Yeah, there was a time. So my great grandfather, who we called Papa, he passed away when I was like 4 or 5.
Mhm.
And they didn't tell me because it happened right before my birthday, so they didn't want,
Right.
like, Papa died.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And so there was a dream, or I wouldn't call it a dream because I remember being there as a little girl, laying there awake in the dark. And I remember seeing him come down from the darkness and kiss my forehead and then disappear.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I didn't know he was gone at that point. So
Right.
I don't, like you said, when you're a kid, everything's kind of, you could see things and it not be totally crazy.
Right. Well, I mean, the most interesting part of that is that you didn't know he had passed yet, so you wouldn't have been thinking like, "Oh, I hope he's in heaven," or "I hope he's
Right,
whatever."
thinking about him, yeah, all that
Yeah.
stuff. No, I had no idea. And then when I had my birthday party as a little girl, I remember sitting there and digging through this new toy chest, um, and looking at all my family members as they're watching me and stuff. And he was there. Papa was there. He was standing behind other people. I remember him smiling, and he had a gold tooth on the side of his mouth, and
Nice.
he was smiling and watching me open my gifts. And that I still didn't know he was gone,
Right.
But
Did you
I
at that
remember
time
him.
think like he was? You're like, "Oh, Papa's here."
Papa, yeah, I believe so. I mean, I don't remember much else of that day, but I do remember seeing him there, and I know he was already gone at that point, but
Wow.
he was there smiling and watching.
That's
I told
kind of
my
cool.
mom that, and she was like tearing up. She's like, "Oh my God, I knew Papa would be there."
He wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is going to do it for Alina's time here on The Grave. As I've said in the past, I do try to get a variety of hauntings on this show, but with that said, not all haunted houses are the same, and I personally found Alina's experiences to be pretty unique. So I hope everyone enjoyed her stories, and next week I talk to Maggie, who is yet again another TikTok friend, and we delve into her experiences at her own haunted family home. So stay tuned for that next Friday. As always, thanks for listening, guys, and I hope to have you all back for some more scary stories.